Hi everybody, Matt back with you. Hope you're okay. Our final video from Blackpool this week. We're going to be looking at some of Blackpool's most haunted buildings, including hotels, pubs and other places. Would you dare spend a night in any of these? Across the road from us here is the Foxhall, which was a former public house, now possibly a Reflex nightclub, which there's many of those around. I'm also not too sure if it's still open. This is reportedly one of Blackpool's most haunted places. Apparently back in the 17th century this was a refuge for priests, and the walls inside were very thick and each room had a chapel. On this spot stood Foxhall, built 1670. Apparently it's said to be haunted by smugglers, by priests who would have stayed here in the past. I think the building is far newer than what was here though. I'm not sure quite how old this building is, but it does look like it is still open as a Reflex nightclub, which is a bit of a surprise because I think all the ones near us have closed down. Our next stop is Raikes Hall, a former convent and public house and now a bar, said to be haunted by the spirit of a drowned woman. There are also cold spots within the building, unexplained shadows, and there is also the ghost of a man spotted in the cellar. And maybe back from the time it was a convent, a nun has been seen wandering the grounds. The Regent Cinema, which opened in 1921, is also a former bingo hall. There was a photograph of mist taken inside the building in 2013, which began rumours this building was also haunted. So our next haunted building in Blackpool is this one here. This is Frenchman's Cove. Frenchman's Cove is a former tobacco warehouse, now a restaurant, and the staff here have often reported that they feel someone or something is watching them as they work. This building is said to be haunted by the ghost of a lady named Laura Scoons. Next we look at the ghosts of Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Just two specific ones here. Firstly, Sir Hiram Maxim's flying machine on the left of this picture is the oldest ride on the park, opened in 1904. In the associated gift shop There has been seen many times the apparition of a young girl, and items in the shop are apparently said to move unexpectedly. Perhaps unexpectedly, our second ghost appears at the ghost train. This is the oldest ghost train in the world and is haunted by a ghost called Cloggy, who was the ghost train operator from years before, who used to go on and repair the tracks. Over the years, people have been riding the train and mentioned hearing things that were not actually part of the ride. There have been sounds of tapping, footsteps, and groaning noises. Obviously, cloggy comes from the tapping of the clogs that the ghost is wearing. The skull at the top of the ride as well is often said to light up on its own, even after the power has been turned off. And our final building is the old coach house. Guests who stop at the coach house, when they're in the dining room, often see a man wearing a black hat and black cloak who seems to stare at them whilst they're eating. There is also in the dining room said to be a female ghost who's been called Shirley, and although she haunts the dining area, rather than staring, she seems to keep watch over the room. So that concludes our walk around Blackpool, looking at some of their most haunted buildings. And there may be others. If you know of any, feel free to let me know. Would you stay here? Keep safe. Bye for now.